What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Boundless Perception YouTube channel. And today we're going to be looking at this printer right here behind me. This is a CR-10V3, and I put an Dji extruder for micro Swiss on there. It's a very good extruder. Unfortunately, we had a few issues with it, so we're going to be swapping this one out, and we're going to be showing you guys how we swap that one out. And if you do get this extruder, a few repairs that you need to make if you get a jam. So let's hop to it. All right, guys, so as I said, again, we're gonna be looking at the Dji extruder here. I first got this extruder in July. I now have it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my printers. It's a phenomenal extruder. I got rid of Bowden tubes and just went straight to direct drive. Direct drive works better for me. I'm not sure, if you 3D print, if you use Bowden tubes, if you like it. I kind of feel like it's to each their own, way the pros and the cons. But for me, direct drive is just the way to go. So specifically though, with this printer, I was getting a ton of jams. And I was looking online, I didn't really see any, guides or anything on what to do or how to fix those jams. But of course, I figured it out. That's why I think that working with printers such as these or working with Ender 3s, are very, very, pivotal or vital to learning 3D printing, because I do have bamboos. But learning how to work on these helped me understand how the bamboos work, because I did end up actually having a nozzle break on one of my bamboos. I had no idea what the heck I was looking at, but since I had worked on these, I was able to relate things and figure it out. Anyways, though, I digress. Before we hop into actually repairing this, just trying to show you some of the quality of this extruder here. These are going to be pieces for an upcoming cosplay prop that's going into my store, and they look absolutely amazing. I still have to chip away the excess filament on this one, but I really like the quality of these. They look really good. Anyways, though, we're gonna hop over to a quick sped up video of me replacing these over here, and then we're gonna talk about it a bit more. So let's get to that. Okay, so before we proceed forward, I went ahead and pulled out the thermistor, and basically, that's what heats up this heating block here. You're gonna have to remove that if you plan to do a swap, or basically if you plan to install one of these. There's two little screws up underneath here that you have to take out. Well, not take all the way out, but untighten, loosen, there we go, before you put this in. And make sure, you do that. Again, don't use a whole bunch of force, just a little bit. It should, come right out. Anyways, though, what I really want to show you guys here is this control arm. So I think that's what they're actually called. I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to go ahead and loosen this so that I can show you guys. Once it comes out, there we go. What you're gonna do is pop this screw right here off, the one that's holding this in. And this is if you ever get a jam on one of these. I did not know this the very first time I got a jam on this, and these are extremely easy to clear. So again, loosen the spring, pop that screw off. And let's see if I can show you guys. So if you can see right here is where the filament obviously runs through. A problem I keep getting is, a problem that I've had is that when the filament comes through here, sometimes when it retracts, it gets jammed, and specifically right here. I did not know this originally, but I was able to figure it out. And anyways, this right here is where you get your issue. So what you can do is clip the filament right here and then just literally pull it out, or you can clip it, take off the heater block, pull that down, and then pull the filament through. So let me see if I can pull this heater block off and show you guys. Okay, so here we have the heating block. I was able to pull it off using pliers, and the reason I'm holding it like this is because mine's is still hot, because I had it warmed up while I was pulling, the filament out and everything. Long story short, it was just warmed up while I was pulling it off, so that's why I'm holding it like this. So this right here is the item that you are going to want to remove if you get a jam. There is a small screw right here, hopefully you guys can see, that you're going to loosen. It holds this entire heating block in. Now, switching back to the actual unit itself, I should be able to see, I think I do have a jam right now. So there we go. I was able to push it through, and now, you know, absolutely no problem. And maybe I could show you guys if I clip this. Let's see. I'm not sure where that piece just went. Well, anyways, there's basically a small little knot that sometimes forms on the end of the filament here, and that will cause a jam when it does the whole retracting thing. So long story short, I said all that just to tell you that if you're using this extruder, you may want to change your your retraction, not extraction, retraction settings down to 1 millimeter instead of 5, which was mine's default. And that took care of all of my jamming issues for the most part. I was getting a few jams on the printers, not very often, but just every now and then. Changing those retraction settings, you know, basically cleared them up. All right, so the next part we're gonna go ahead and remove are these screws. 1, 2, and the third one is here, but you access them from the actual back of the extruder. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that since I can't really film that because my printer is up on a ledge. So I'm just gonna remove those screws, and that's how we pop that off. Okay, so this is what it looks like after you remove it. All you have to do is remove the power supply for the motor here. And again, from the back side, those 3 screws, which go into 1, 2, 3, the little triangle here. So just remember, pop the triangle off and you're good to go. That's literally all you have to do to remove this extruder. So we're gonna put the new one on and then try out a test print. Okay, so this right here is our new extruder. I went ahead and popped off the plastic container that holds the fans. I'll put that on later. Pop that off, but this right here is the new one. This is the heater block, as you guys can see. It goes right under here and slits into place like that. And that tiny screw I was telling you guys about is right here. So you take your heater block, you slide it into here, you tighten your screw, triangle, remember, on the back. You go ahead and attach that onto here. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. Then we have to put our heating coil right there and our thermometer inside, reconnect the motor, and pretty much that's it. So let's do that. So I went ahead and tightened the screws. So this is on there. Now and again, what we have to do is install the heater cartridge into the heater block. Where did I put it? Right here. So we have the heater cartridge. It's going to go into the heater block. We're going to install that on the underside. And then we're going to go ahead and put the plastic housing that holds the fans back on there. So let's hop to that. Also, while you're at it, if you already have fans that are, you know, you're not replacing the fan and they've been used for a while, go ahead and clear those out, get rid of any dust in them. Just, you know, helps cut down on the noise and helps your prints out. So we've got everything hooked back up here. We're basically good to go to fire this up. But before I do that, I want to show you guys one last time. This is essentially what it looks like. This is what we took off here. This right here is the tensioner, and the filament runs right through here. And hopefully, I don't know if it's really difficult for you guys to see as the parts are very small, but right through here is where the filament goes, and that's where you get your jams on this extruder. It's the only place I've had any jams on it. And again, it's a very easy fix. Take off this arm that sits right in here, clear out your jam, clear out your gears, and reduce your retraction settings down from 5 millimeters or whatever you have to 1, and that will usually take care of the issue with jamming. And ever since I did that, I have had no more jams. So definitely give that a try if you do plan to purchase this extruder. Everything is working as it should. All of our fans are spinning and we are extruding filament. So we know that we were successful. Definitely make sure you go ahead and update your steps. Micro Swiss has the e-steps on their site that you can just download and print, and it will automatically update your e-steps. Adjust as needed, of course, but usually it turns to, you know, be perfectly fine right out the box with regards to the e-steps. And now we're gonna go ahead and do our first test print. Also, side note, I found Lucky Pup here. He is the very first print I ever did. His name is Lucky, call him Lucky Pup. He's just, you know, watches over all the printers, my guard dog at night for any jams. He's kind of been slacking on the job, but, you know, we're gonna whip them back into shape. All right, so hopefully that helps some of you guys. I know that I wish someone had shown me, or I could have found a video on how to fix this prior to actually having to jump into it. It's a very easy fix. This is a phenomenal extruder. Again, I absolutely love it. It creates amazing prints, I would say almost on par with my bamboo printers. And these printers are, you know, I'm not exactly sure when CR-10s came out, but much older than bamboo printers. And again, it can compete, not as fast, but the quality is still phenomenal, again, with this Micro Swiss extruder. I'm not sponsored by Micro Swiss, but you know, these are phenomenal extruders. I definitely highly recommend them. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Again, if this did help you, leave a like, leave a comment in the comment sections below. I want to know how you guys are working with this extruder, how it goes for you, and what you're printing. Side note, I will be at Ichiban the first week. I have a panel on none other than 3D printing. Definitely stop by, you know, say hello. Let me know if you actually saw this episode and what you are 3D printing. And tomorrow is the beginning of a brand new year. I will be doing a actual 50% discount on my Etsy store, on my Shopify store. So feel free to hop over there and snag some of those items for your next convention. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much again. And as always, stay boundless. See you. Bye-bye.